Hewlett-Packard stepping up in its efforts to compete in the smartphone market. The world's biggest PC maker has agreed to acquire Palm for $1.2 billion. Joining us right now on the phone is Brian Alexander. He is an analyst at Raymond James. Brian, thanks so much for joining us this morning. This is an all-cash deal. Does that say anything to you?
Well, I think it's an all-cash deal because HP's got a lot of cash. This is basically $1.2 billion out of HP's $14 billion war chest, and it's basically 1 month of cash flow for HP. So it's not a big ticket for them.
So Palm, is a relatively inexpensive cash for HP, but Palm has been unprofitable for a while. How do you see this fitting in strategically?
Yeah, strategically, I think it's a low-risk, low-priced way for HP to get into a large, growing market where, quite frankly, they've been unsuccessful in the past, but they probably need to get into that market given the convergence of form factors from PCs all the way down to smartphones. So I think it's a market they needed to get into, and I think that they're buying a company that actually has good intellectual property and a good operating system in WebOS that could actually be leveraged across other devices that HP provides and may provide in the future, like tablets and netbooks.
Brian, I heard you say the smartphone market is one that HP needed to get into. It's a pretty competitive space already, and it's pretty crowded thanks to Apple, also thanks to Google. Are they going to have what it takes with Palm?
Well, they're certainly going to have the resources to give it a go, and I don't think that they need to be successful specifically in the smartphone market for this deal to make sense, because I think that the operating system is leverageable across these other devices, as I mentioned before. So I think that they'll give it a go. I think the key is to get app developer support, as well as get the content needed to get a more of an installed base, because right now Palm only has 1% of the smartphone market.
Brian, thank you very much. Brian Alexander joining us there from Raymond James.